All right, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are taking a deep, fascinating look at a massive global buzzword, soft power. We hear it all the time, right? Mostly in politics and economics. But how exactly does it work on the ground level? Well, to answer that, we aren't just going to sit here and look at abstract theories. We are using hard empirical data from a brilliant new research study focused on Pathum Thani province in Thailand, all to uncover what actually drives tourist behavior. And honestly, it turns out that things we assume draw people to a destination might be completely backwards.
Okay, let's dive right into this. We're going to start by diving right into this. We're going to start by decoding Thai soft power, break down the 8 dimensions of Pathum Thani, uncover that surprising data twist I mentioned, walk through the actual tourist decision journey, and then wrap up with some real-world strategies for sustainable tourism. So first up, decoding Thai soft power, and kind of setting the stage for what we're talking about today. I want you to think about your own travel habits for just a second. Picture it. You're scrolling on your phone on a Friday night. What actually makes you choose to book a weekend getaway? Is it a picture of some incredible street food, a massive historic temple? Maybe it's a unique local craft you saw on Instagram? Keep your own answer in the back of your mind because this academic theory we're looking at is about to get deeply personal and highly relatable. So, the concept of soft power originally comes from political scientist Joseph Nye. Basically, it's defined as the ability to influence the behavior of others and attract them through culture, values, and policies, rather than coercion. So, it's not about forcing someone to visit, it's about making your destination so culturally magnetic that they literally can't resist going.
In Thailand, well, they've taken this concept and absolutely run with it. The Thai government has launched a super aggressive national strategy to stimulate their post-COVID economy using soft power. They've identified 11 specific domains, ranging from food and sports all the way to festivals and fashion. They've even pushed these really cool initiatives like the One Village, One Thai Chef program. It's just a massive top-down effort to leverage culture into serious economic growth.
Moving on to part 2, let's shift from that macro national view down to the micro level, the 8 dimensions of Pathum Thani.
To really figure out how this works, we're looking at a sequential mixed methods study. And honestly, these researchers acted like absolute data detectives. First, they did a qualitative ethnographic analysis, which basically just means they scraped and analyzed 290 positive Google reviews from Thai tourists online. Then, they took what they found there and conducted on-the-ground quantitative surveys with over 300 domestic tourists. From analyzing all that online chatter, the researchers systematically categorized Pathum Thani's soft power into 8 distinct dimensions. And just look at the variety we're dealing with here. We've got the general tourism industry, like historical sites. We've got Thai arts, like bamboo crafts. There's design, which includes digital fabrics and upcycled packaging, plus sports, like traditional boat racing, music, books, drama series filming locations, and fashion. Now, when they looked at just the online reviews, a very clear pattern emerged. People talk the most about the tourism industry, the historical sites, the museums, the Mon lifestyle. That took up nearly 36% of all mentions. Coming in second is Thai arts at 23%. And this completely sets up our expectation that, general tourism and traditional arts are obviously the main reasons people travel there. Now, what's really interesting when you look at these raw numbers is the sheer frequency of those mentions. The standard tourism category absolutely dominates what people are posting about online. If you were a local marketer looking at this data, you'd immediately assume that to get more tourists, you just need to advertise your historical sites, right? Makes sense. But hold that thought. Which brings us to part 3, the surprising data twist, or expectation versus reality. Because in the world of data science, what tourists talk about online isn't necessarily the math behind why they actually open their wallets and travel. Here is the massive plot twist of this study. We expect general tourism and arts to dominate decision-making, but in reality, local design has the absolute highest mathematical influence on travel choices. Despite tourism being the most talked about online, the quantitative survey data proved that design is the hidden champion driving actual behavior. So how exactly did they figure this out? Well, the researchers built this conceptual framework. They took those 8 soft power dimensions we just talked about and mapped them directly against established consumer purchase decision-making theory. They essentially wanted to find out which of those 8 categories actually pushed a tourist from merely being interested to actually getting in their car and making the trip. And the results of their multiple regression analysis are wild. Just look at the predictive weight of these categories. Design comes in at a beta of 0.243. The tourism industry, way behind at 0.141, and Thai arts is at 0.135. This means that highly specific local design, things like digital fabric patterns, upcycled packaging, or local pottery, packs nearly double the punch of general historical sites when it comes to predicting whether someone will actually visit.
And the actual math behind this is incredibly compelling. With an R-square of 0.998, which is basically a measure of predictive accuracy, this isn't just a random guess. It is rigorous, hard data science, proving that while every dimension of soft power contributes something, design is statistically the heaviest hitter in pulling domestic tourists into Pathum Thani.
Okay, so let's move to section 4 and look at the tourist decision journey to understand the psychology of travel here.
We're relying on Kotler and Keller's classic 5-step decision process for this. First, you desire an experience. Second, you search for information. Third, you compare your options. Fourth, you actually make the decision to go. And finally, step 5 is post-purchase behavior. And in modern terms, that basically means sharing your experience with everyone else. When the researchers asked tourists to rate their activity across these 5 steps, the data revealed exactly where the modern Thai domestic tourist is the most active. And surprisingly, it's not just in the decision itself. The activity is highly concentrated at the very beginning and the very end of this cycle. Specifically, I want to point out this mean score, 4.25 out of 5. This was the highest rated aspect of the entire decision-making process. What does that number actually mean? It represents the massive, undeniable intent of tourists to disseminate and share their experiences with broader audiences after their visit. They want to post about it. So the crucial point is this. Why does design win the math? Why is it so influential? Because highly visual, tangible, and eco-friendly local designs like upcycled packaging or intricate digital fabrics are exactly what fuel that post-visit sharing cycle. A tourist buys a beautifully designed local product, posts a stunning photo on social media, and that photo instantly triggers step 1, the desire for an experience, in all of their followers. Design isn't just a product anymore. It's literally a marketing engine.
Finally, let's wrap up with section 5, strategies for sustainable tourism, or what I like to call the Pathum Thani playbook.
So how do local stakeholders actually use all this data? The evidence shows that local governments shouldn't just rely on broad, vague national campaigns. Instead, they must invest heavily in local design, like water hyacinth products and unique pottery. They need to promote cultural ecotourism because we know modern travelers really care about sustainability. They should integrate participatory sports, highlight unique local music, and they absolutely must optimize their digital footprint for that crucial pre-visit information search phase. I actually want to read this powerful conclusion directly from the researchers. Quote, by prioritizing design, cultural tourism, and Thai arts, regional stakeholders can formulate evidence-based promotional policies to effectively attract tourists and enhance sustainable destination competitiveness within Thailand. That is the ultimate thesis here, folks. Specific, data-backed actions beat vague promotional campaigns every single time.
We've seen today how soft power works not just in theory, but in cold, hard numbers. It shows us that a well-designed local craft can legitimately have more economic pulling power than a centuries-old monument. So, as you examine your own social media scrolling and travel planning tonight, I'll leave you with this question. What local design is going to drive your next adventure? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.